Hello movie lovers, Bob for Bob's movie review here, and today I'm bringing you guys my new Blu-ray and DVD shopping guide and reviews for Tuesday, October 22nd, 2019. Be sure to click subscribe and click on the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload great new content. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to show it some love and give it a like rating. So remember, you guys can find affiliate links to purchase these movies down in the description below. So first up this week, guys, we have Wonder Woman Bloodlines. This one's releasing on a 4K Blu-ray and digital. Amazon and Walmart $24.96, Best Buy and Target $24.99. It will also be releasing on a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. Amazon and Walmart $17.96, Best Buy and Target $17.99. And then finally, you'll be getting a Target exclusive Steelbook, which will include Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. Now, Warner Brothers did send me over a copy for review. I'm trying to remember if I posted unboxing of this or not. I can't remember for sure. It does have kind of a flat finish there on a kind of a foil, kind of a cool look to that. Definitely into that artwork. Here's a look at the inside, plain black. I believe that's the 4K, and then the Blu-ray has the picture. So this one was kind of the origins of Wonder Woman. There's these, maybe it was just one guy, he's in the Army or the Air Force or whatever, and he's like fighting some sort of monster or something. They didn't really get into it. Whatever it was he was fighting, and he ends up kind of crashing into the Mascara, which is the homeland of the Amazons, and basically he's an outsider, and Wonder Woman wants to leave with him to help him fight or to help humanity or whatever. But then I don't think they really ever brought up those again. It was just she comes and then she lives with this family, and then she eventually becomes Wonder Woman, and then she kind of I don't want to get too much into it, but basically there's these, obviously a villain that she's against, and they kind of want to come kill the Amazons or come to their land or whatever it was. You know, I did definitely enjoy this one, guys. It was kind of a cool look because we don't see a lot of Wonder Woman. I mean, we did have the Wonder Woman movie a few years back, but just to have her own solo story was pretty cool. I didn't like it quite as much as some of the other DC animated movies, but I definitely thought it was a cool story. I definitely liked kind of the way it ended, and I thought this one was fun, guys. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Next up is Satanic Panic. This one is releasing on a Blu-ray, Amazon and Walmart $13.69, Target $14.59, Best Buy $14.99. It will also be releasing on a DVD, Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart $13.99, Target $14.59. RLJE Films did send me over a copy of Satanic Panic for review. This is the DVD version, and it kind of has some foiling on it. Looks pretty cool. Here's a look at the inside. Now, this one was more of a horror comedy about this woman who is trying to make money, and she becomes a pizza delivery driver, and she's like delivering on her scooter or moped or whatever it was, and nobody's giving her any tips, and she goes out to this kind of place in the middle of nowhere, and she's expecting a tip, and the guy kind of stiffs her, so she goes inside to call him out on it, and there's these people having a party, and they're like satanic, and they want to revive this demon or conjure up a demon or whatever, however you want to call it, but they need a virgin, and they find out she's a virgin, and so they're trying to use her for their ritual, and she kind of meets some people to help her out. I thought this movie was a lot of fun, guys. It did have a good horror comedy kind of balance to it. I would say, unfortunately, though, the last quarter or so, they kind of ditched the whole comedy, and then it's just kind of a pure horror from there. But I thought this movie was a lot of fun, guys. I really enjoyed it. I've watched it like 3 times already, and it's just a lot of fun. I gave this one a 3 out of 5. Next up is Tonedeaf. This one is releasing on a Blu-ray and digital, Amazon and Walmart $14.96, Target $17.29, and Best Buy $17.99. It's also releasing on a DVD, Amazon $12.96, Best Buy $13.99, Target $14.89, and Walmart $14.96. There's a lot of variety in prices there, I guess. Lionsgate did send me over a copy of Tonedeaf for review. This does have the amazing Robert Patrick in it. I didn't post an unboxing of this at all. It's kind of a, I don't know, kind of an interesting artwork there. Here's a look at the inside. It is just the one disc, and it has the cover art there on the disc. So in this one, Robert Patrick is playing a guy pretty advanced in years, and he looks the part. It's amazing how much different he looks than really just a few years ago. But he is, well, before we get to him, this girl, she just gets fired from her job, and everybody's like, oh, go on vacation. It's like, oh yeah, I just got fired, I'll go on vacation. So she gets this Airbnb or whatever, and she rents this like really, really big house. I don't know if you'd call it a mansion or not, but it's a really, really big house. Maybe it's a mansion, I'm not sure. But it ends up being Robert Patrick's, and she just kind of goes there to stay for 2 days, but he has some more sinister ideas. I don't want to give away too much on that. I found it a little strange that he would sometimes talk to the camera. At first I thought maybe he was just crazy, but I mean, he's looking right at the camera, so sometimes he's talking to the camera, and I know they do that in movies sometimes, but it just felt a little weird in this one. But he goes crazy. Another thing about this one is I did find a lot of it to be really funny, and it's one of those movies where it's hard to tell, was it intentionally funny or was it accidentally funny? I'm not sure, but I definitely enjoyed this one, guys. It did have a good horror element and a comedy element to it. It's just a really interesting story, and it's kind of one you want to talk about with your friends. I definitely enjoyed this one, guys. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Next up is Angel of Mine. This one will be releasing on a Blu-ray and digital, Amazon and Walmart $14.96. Target $17.29 and Best Buy $17.99. It'll also be releasing on a DVD, Amazon $12.96, Best Buy $13.99, Target $14.89, and Walmart $14.96. Lionsgate did send me over a copy of Angel of Mine for review. Here's a look at it, guys. It is a does have a foiling to it. Cool look there. Here's a look at the inside. We do have the cover art there on the disc. Now this one had a little bit of a strange beginning to it. It was a little hard to follow, and I wasn't sure what was going on. And it's one of those movies where you kind of learn later what all was going on in the beginning. But basically this woman takes her son to school. She takes him to school or to something, and she sees this little girl, and she becomes like obsessed with this family, and she does everything she can to always be around them and go to their parties, and she pretends like she's going to buy their house even though she has no way to afford it, and they have this like giant house. And it's a thriller, you know, about this lady who just she just kind of really attaches to this family and tries to almost become a part of the family. And I don't want to tell you guys exactly why, because you definitely have to watch it for that. But yeah, I think like other than just kind of the beginning where I was just really confused, I think that they really turned this one around, and it becomes just a really interesting movie and an ending that you don't see coming at all. And I really enjoyed this one, guys. I thought it was a lot of fun. Definitely check this one out. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Next up is Strange But True. This one's releasing on a Blu-ray and digital. Walmart $14.96, Amazon and Best Buy $14.99, Target $17.29. It's also releasing on a DVD. Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart $13.99, Target $14.89. Now, Lionsgate did send me over a copy of Strange But True for review. Here is a look at it. I'm not positive of her name, but it does have the lady who played Holly on The Office. I don't know if that's Amy Ryan. I don't know her name. I'm sorry, guys. But I thought that was kind of interesting. I haven't seen her in a ton since The Office, but it was a strange one. So in this one, there's this kind of family, and this girl shows up at their house, and she used to date their older son, but their older son has died, and 5 years ago, I believe it was, or roughly 5 years ago, and she's saying he's the only one she's ever slept with, and she's suddenly pregnant with his child. So the other brother, he kind of starts to believe her, and he's like, you know, maybe it's true. And so the mom, who basically never got over the loss of her son, she starts kind of like detectiving it out and trying to find out, like, is this possible? How could this happen? You know, she starts looking up like virgin pregnancies and all this kind of stuff. And her and her son kind of are trying to solve the mystery, and there's lots of twists and turns in this one. And I thought this was a super interesting story, guys. I really enjoyed this one quite a bit. One of my favorite movies of the week for sure. Don't miss this one, guys. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's definitely just kind of one of those crazy out there movies, and the end, I mean, it just gets so crazy, you're not going to believe what happens. Next up is Legend of the Demon Cat. Now, this one is only releasing on a Blu-ray. Amazon, Best Buy, Target, Walmart, all $17.99. Now, Well Go USA did send me over a copy of Legend of the Demon Cat for review. This one does have English dubbing. It is also in Mandarin and does have English subtitles. Cool disc art there. You got a cat on the cover. Now, I did have a little bit of trouble following this one. You know, it was a little bit of a mystery kind of movie to begin with, and then you kind of add in the difference in cultures and language. Even though it was in English dubbing, you know, the names to me just got super confusing. But the ending kind of cleared up some of it, but I kind of feel like if I watch this one again, it would clear up a lot more of it. So what happens is there's this demon cat, and it's like kind of terrorizing these people and killing people. And so this guy, he's supposed to be like a demon exorcist or something, and he comes and he tries to investigate what actually happened. And they have these long sections of kind of like what happened, you know, kind of like flashbacks, or I'm not sure exactly what you want to call them on this one, but basically there's a story about this woman who the emperor, or I could be getting that wrong, was in love with her, and for some reason they had to fake her death, and they just get into a lot into it. It was a 2-hour runtime. To me, they could have shortened this thing up a little bit. Visually, I mean, this movie was really stunning, had some really great effects, really great CGI, just amazing visuals. I feel like the characters were really great, really well done. But like I say, I was just a little confused, having a little bit of trouble following the story. I'll definitely have to go back, check this one out again. But I still enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a cool movie. There's a few things I'm a little iffy on, but for the most part, I think I get the story on this one, guys. Check this one out for sure. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Next up, The Lion King 2019 is coming out on a 4K Blu-ray and digital. Walmart $29.96, Best Buy and Target $29.99, and Amazon no listing. Best Buy will have an exclusive 4K Steelbook, which will include 4K Blu-ray and digital for $34.99. I haven't got my pre-order yet. I think it's supposed to be here on Monday, so I'll try to bring you guys an unboxing of that sometime this week. It'll also be releasing on a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. Best Buy and Target $22.99, Walmart $24.99, and Amazon no listing. Next up, Charlie's Angels will be getting a 4K Blu-ray and digital release. Amazon and Walmart $19.96, Best Buy $19.99, and Target $24.49. Best Buy will have an exclusive Steelbook, which will include 4K Blu-ray and digital for $24.99. I've never seen this movie, guys. I wasn't super interested in it, and I'm still really just, I'm not that interested in it. Charlie's Angels Full Throttle will also be releasing on a Blu-ray and digital. Amazon and Walmart $9.96, Best Buy $9.99, and Target $10.49. Next up, The Dead Center is releasing on a Blu-ray. Amazon $19.98, Best Buy $19.99, Target $21.99, and Walmart no listing. It's also releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Best Buy $13.99, Target $14.59, and Walmart no listing. Next up is Bloodline. This one is releasing on a Blu-ray. Amazon and Best Buy $14.99, Walmart $17.44, and Target $19.69. It's also going to release on a DVD. Amazon and Target $16.99, Best Buy $17.99, and Walmart no listing. Now, I did get to check this one out a little bit ago, guys, and I did post a review of it. I gave it a 3 out of 5. It was a Sean William Scott movie where it's kind of a thriller horror, and he's kind of just like this crazy guy, and I don't want to get too much into it, but he is like a school counselor, or I think he said he wasn't a school counselor. He's like a caseworker. I can't remember what term he used. And basically these kids will tell him what's going wrong in their lives, and then he'll murder people. It was very interesting. I didn't love it, but I did definitely enjoy it. Definitely a interesting film from Sean William Scott. I thought he was great in the role. I just didn't 100% love the story, but it was a cool story. I know it was a popular movie too. From the people who saw it. Next up is A Gingerbread Romance. This one is releasing on a DVD. Amazon and Walmart $12.96, Target $12.99, and Best Buy no listing. Now for you guys, I have a few previous releases that I want to talk to you guys about that were sent over to me for review. First up, I have Big Top Evil. Now, this one was sent to me by the director Sean Hates to check out, and this is just a recordable disc. This isn't the retail version. So this one was about this group of young adults go out looking for, I think it was like Mangrove County or something like that, and there was a serial killer there, and they want to go visit the location or something. They want to go and check out where the serial killer was, and they're kind of stopping at stuff along the way, and they end up meeting this woman, and she's like, come back to the motel with me or whatever. She's kind of hitting on this one guy, and there's a carnival, I believe it was, across the street, and the carnival was like, I don't know, tons and tons of psychotic killer clowns or something. A little strange. But most of this movie, like the first 2/3 or whatever, it's just these kids on the trip, and they did have like a little bit of like flashbacks or whatever talking about the serial killer, and there would be like a kill here or there, but not a lot of really horror. Just these guys guys and girls going on this trip, and then when they get there, stuff gets a little more crazy. For the budget of this movie, the acting, I wouldn't say it's terrible. I've definitely seen much worse of acting. It's definitely amateur acting, but it wasn't bad enough to where I was just like, oh, these guys are so terrible. And the thing that I really liked, and I've said this on movies before, is that you can tell the people were trying. They weren't the best actors, but people were putting in an effort. They seemed to enjoy what they were doing, and they seemed to be invested in this movie, which to me, I enjoy when I see people who are actually trying to pull off these roles. Visually, I think the effects were pretty good, especially towards the end. I really noticed towards the end, they had some really great effects, some practical effects for slasher film. They did do a little bit of digital blood stuff or whatever, and that always looked cheesy like it always does. But I like this one, guys. I thought it was definitely interesting. If you guys are horror fans, check this one out. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Next up is Light of My Life. This one was sent to me by Paramount Pictures for review. This is another long one. I think it's about 2 hours. I definitely could have done with a shorter runtime. I definitely think they could have cut it down. There were some parts that just seemed to kind of go on, and I really question whether or not they're really necessary. I think they could have cut this down quite a bit and still had just the same impact and a great movie. So in this one, and they leave you a little confused at the beginning, which seems to be every movie this week. They throw you into these movies and you don't know exactly what's going on. But what happens is this guy is living in kind of like a post-apocalyptic kind of situation, and his daughter's living with him, and they have to pretend she's a boy, and they're just kind of out on their own trying to survive. And and yeah, there's some really slow parts in this, guys, but it's a really great story. Really powerful, and I think you guys are going to love this if you check it out. Like I say, you got to get through that runtime, but it's a great story, great acting, a really enjoyable story. I was very surprised how much I liked this one, guys. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Check that one out for sure. The last movie I have for you guys here is Madness in the Method, sent to me by Cinedigm for review. Now, this one is starring Jason Mewes, but it has a lot of the Kevin Smith kind of people in it. And Jason Mewes is trying to get a part in this movie called The Odyssey. And he finds out about this like star rating, and his star rating, I think he didn't even have one. And so he's trying to get a star rating so that he can get in this movie. And this guy gives him this book about method acting. And so he tries it out, and he ends up like accidentally killing somebody. And then from there, it's like, he gets involved in an arrest, and then his star level goes up, and then he kind of goes out of control, and he's like killing everybody, and his star level's going up, and he just keeps trying to get in this movie. And I don't know, I didn't find this movie like real funny. It was kind of funny, But I definitely found the story interesting, the characters interesting, and I enjoyed this one quite a bit, guys. It's definitely a fun movie if you guys are into Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. Although Kevin Smith's not in it a lot. I mean, he is in it, but if you're kind of into their style of movies, definitely one to check out. Like I said, it was just a fun movie and a little silly, and yeah, just check this one out, guys. I gave it a 3 out of 5. So that is it for this week, guys. I actually liked this week's movies quite a bit. I got a lot of this week's releases for review. Definitely a fun week. I think next week there isn't a ton of stuff to review. I'm not sure if I'll still be getting anything, but I only have a couple of movies right now to review. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have seen any of these movies, I'd love to hear your thoughts on them. If you guys plan on picking any of these up, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos. Check out the suggested videos. Check out my website, bobsmoviereview.com. And I'll see you guys next time.